That sound can only mean one thing.
What?
We're back.
What does that mean?
We're back.
Oh.
We are
Hello.
back. We are back making the show.
Yes, we are.
We're
back
we're
yelling into our delay units and reverb
Yep.
units, just yelling random stuff.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Black Market Live, the show where we record music. We show our production techniques and collaborate with our viewers to make music. From Los Angeles, I am Wise Owl. Whoa. AKA Brandon Nisnik. And live from Nashville, Tennessee is Mr. Black Market himself, Nate Bridges.
Yo, what is up, everyone?
Nate.
Yep. Yeah.
What are we doing on the show today?
So today we are having a casual hang. I know we did that last time, sort of, but today we're catching up. We were both on Christmas break, seeing our families. We're gonna catch up on the music we've been listening to, stuff we've been working on. We've got new mailbag today. We've got yet another Brian Eno card, and drum roll, please. We're finally gonna watch Star Trek.
Yes.
We're doing it. This one's for us, okay? Yeah, thank you.
It's finally happening.
Yeah. This one's for us, all right? We've done a lot of fucking shows for the fans or whatever. This episode's for us, okay? It's about me and Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
We want to watch Star Trek. Everyone else doesn't want to. We don't care. We don't care anymore. We've earned it. We're on episode 23. We're going to watch Star Trek today, all right? So deal with it. Or welcome and, we're all going to have fun.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and you can watch with us too. Yeah, man. Yeah, this was the original idea for the show. Me and you, we've made music together, recorded together for years and years, played in all kinds of bands together, played in each other's music. We used to have our studios together in the same building before.
On two different times.
And 2 different times, that's right. And the very first time that you and I ever talked about doing originally was we should do a podcast or any kind of streaming or any kind of show. What the idea was, dude, we should do a show where 2 guys, us, who love Star Trek: The Next Generation, watch through episode by episode Deep Space Nine for the first time.
Yeah.
So kind of like a play on one of those shows, which is an episode by episode deep dive watch through, which there's a million of those. There's more than one for every show.
Right.
But I've never heard of one where people are doing it who are fans of the IP who have never seen this show before.
Right.
So it's like the initial impressions of every episode.
Right. Because we were going to do Deep Space Nine, which is a series that is lauded by real Star Trek heads.
So lauded. So much lauding.
Yeah. It's said by real heavy Star Trek heads that it's actually the best Star Trek series. And Brandon and I, being ardent Next Gen fans.
So ardent.
We're
so ardent, dude.
Look, if you have a problem with my use of vocabulary.
No, I'm trying to big you up, man. I'm trying to. Sorry, that's coming from my admiration for your word choice.
Okay, all right.
And appreciation.
Okay, all right. I'm reassessing. But yeah, we're huge fans of Next Gen, so we thought, okay, all right, all these whippersnappers saying that Deep Space Nine's better than Next Gen. Yeah, this newfangled Star Trek show.
Deep Space Nine.
From the early 90s.
Whatever the kids are watching.
Yeah. We thought, let's do a show where each week we'll watch one episode and then talk
Yeah.
about it or whatever. And since there's literally 7 seasons of that show, we thought we've got a podcast forever. We'll never need to fucking do anything else. We'll be watching Star Trek for literally years. Years.
Right,
It'll take us
right.
years to get through Deep Space Nine. Obviously, we had kind of an epiphany that we were like, you know what? We're actually both really good at talking about music. Maybe we should do that. I bet people would find that more interesting. So luckily we did that instead. But it doesn't change the fact that I feel like we owe it to ourselves
Yeah.
to do a Star Trek episode.
Yeah. We ended up doing a different show, but we still want to do this. And
Yeah.
we've been talking about it, threatening
Yeah, really
to
threatening.
do this for a long time. And
Yeah.
it's the holidays.
Yeah.
We're in the week. We were off last week because our normal stream time last week was a couple days before Christmas.
I was out of state. I was in Arizona, having a desert, beautiful, warm Christmas by a pool, fucking poolside. It was awesome.
Okay, I want to ask you about. I want to know about your trip.
Yeah.
Not in too much detail, but
Okay.
in a medium amount of detail, I want to know.
Okay.
Excuse me. And so we've already started drinking,
Yeah.
which I'm getting to that point.
Yeah.
But this week now, it is that magical time of year, which I love. So Christmas is my favorite holiday. I love Christmas. But maybe my favorite, it's not my favorite, but it is a very special kind of a week. It's very unique throughout the year, which is the week that is between Christmas and New Year's. It's like this magical twilight time of holidayness.
Some refer to it as the taint between Christmas and New
Yes.
Year's. I'm not going to say I came up
Yes.
with that. I saw it on Twitter. Full disclosure.
Wow. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never heard that before.
Yeah.
So we're on the taint between Christmas and New Year's right
We have-
now.
So a lot of people say about our podcast, we have our thumb on the taint of what's going on in music. That's us.
Yes. And so this is the time where you have this is our office holiday party.
Yes. This
And
is.
in this office, it's me and we're the only people who work here.
Yes.
But we're having it with the whole community, all our friends, all our viewers. And what we're doing for our holiday office party is we're watching Star Trek.
Yes.
And getting drunk.
Getting a little drunk. That is right.
So it's 10:13 a.m. here in California.
12,
What time is it?
12:13 for me here in Nashville.
There you go.
So it's an early start to the day. But
We talked about how we were going to be drinking bush milk, but I can't afford to buy the ingredients to bush milk right now, which is Bushmills and Baileys, but
Yeah.
instead I've got Canadian Club whiskey.
yeah. And I will show you. I've got my standard Thursday drink of iced coffee with copious amounts of Mr. Black coffee liqueur. Delicious way
Right.
to start a morning.
I've mixed my Canadian Club with Jarritos
Oh,
grapefruit. It's okay. It's grapefruit. It's
It's
very
good.
refreshing.
yeah, it's really good.
it's the
Jarritos
mo-
is all right for people that don't know, who maybe aren't from the United States or California for that matter,
or Mexico.
or Mexico.
This is from Mexico.
Yeah, this is from Mexico. Jarritos is the shit, basically, is what you need to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you
they-
walk into a Mexican restaurant in California and it's like a hole-in-the-wall place where you know you're going to get like authentic street tacos, the surest sign you're going to get some bomb-ass fucking food is if they've got a fridge and in that fridge is glass bottles of Jarritos.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're
Yeah.
in a real legit place.
Yeah. This is like this is our like iron brew or something. You know.
Yeah.
This is
Yep.
delicious
Yep.
shit, and it's irreplaceable, and it comes in lots of really good flavors. One of the most popular being the tamarind flavor.
Yes, that one's really good. And are there any other tamarind flavored anythings in the world other than a tamarind itself? Like, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in Mexico, it's in like 10,000 different kinds of candy.
Right.
They like bake it into different things, and yeah, there's a few tamarind drinks. Nice.
Sorry, my hair is just fucked today, and I guess there's nothing I can do about it.
It's good though. You got strong and good, strong. What's his name?
Volume.
He's your guy. Who's your favorite
Lynch?
person in the world?
David Lynch?
David Lynch. See,
Okay.
all I had to say.
All right, you just made my morning.
Your favorite guy.
That literally just made my day. So
That's how much Nate's favorite guy is David Lynch.
yes.
All I had to say was your guy, your favorite guy. Just, David
In
Lynch,
reference
man.
to my insane hair.
Yeah, that's true. That's a clue.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
what's the next thing we're supposed to talk about, Nate?
Me and Brandon before the show, we were talking, and we both, this is just a beautiful little thing of serendipity that's happened to us recently. I was telling Brandon about how at night lately, since we've been off the air with the show, I've been getting really inebriated by the devil's lettuce. I found I have some illegal substances here
Talking
in
about
Nashville.
ganja?
Ganja, yeah, that one.
Okay.
So I've been enjoying. I've been partaking at night and listening on my headphones to Pink Floyd. I've been a huge Pink Floyd
headphones.
Oh yeah, dude. Some of them were made with headphones.
Like old school, like listening to it on a fucking turntable with
wish.
some of those big ass 70s headphones.
I wish. That's the bomb move right there. In fact, maybe I'll do that today, actually, now that you say that. But
well, when they make the movie about your life and they do this period of your life, that's how they'll set up the scene.
Please don't show my AirPods, please. Show my record collection. Show my record collection instead. So really the reason I started listening to Pink Floyd is because for Christmas I bought myself some Apple AirPod Pros. I bought the new AirPods for myself. That was my Christmas present for myself.
Nice.
And I started listening to them, and I just wanted to listen to albums I knew were really good, especially were really good for headphones. And so I was like, all right, let's throw on Dark Side of the Moon and see how that sounds. I was, needless to say, not impressed with the quality of the earbuds, the AirPods.
Needless to say. Well, okay.
I mean, they're not bad. They're good.
Surprised.
They're good for AirPods, but I was a little disappointed. I was kind of like, what the fuck? What is this shit? You know, like why did I pay so much money for these fucking things just because they're wireless? Like, so I did some research, and in the manual for these headphones, oh hell yeah, Bacon 420. I'm so high, live long and prosper. Hell yeah, dude. That is the most on the nose comment and username combo I've ever seen.
Bacon 420.
And Dweemus, welcome back to the show, man. I feel like
Yes.
it might have been a couple
Good to
weeks
see
since
you.
we've seen you, but great to see you in the chat, man. Andrew Wright, I may have consumed LSD once and watched The Wall in my younger years. Jinkies. Yeah, you and me both, brother. Seriously.
Andrew said jinkies.
Yep.
Okay.
What was I saying?
Okay, but you found something in the manual.
yes.
Like
Well, the
it
manual-
was switched to shitty.
Yes.
I'm supposed to put it on good.
It was. It literally was switched
No.
on to shitty. I swear to God, there's a setting that it out of the
Bad,
box,
and you
out of the
switched it
box.
to good.
Yes, out of the box, it comes as they're just default earbuds, basically. How your earbuds are. They're the exact same thing.
Talk shit about my earbuds.
No, okay, you know what I'm saying. It's not that they sound horrible, but they just sound like earbuds. They're not. It's not over the ear. It's not like these. These are fucking great. Why am I defending AirPods to you? Like whatever. So I did some research and I found out.
This is good.
Holy shit, they've developed. And inadvertently, I was in the room while they were developing some of these techniques when I worked at Capitol. Capitol has a dedicated Dolby Atmos mix room where they mix stuff.
Right.
And okay, you've got surround sound like 5.1, 7.1, 9.1.
Yep.
Dolby Atmos is basically like 30.1. That's the only way you can
Wow.
really conceptualize it. Is it's
Yeah.
completely every single sound source like has its
Many
own
points.
speaker. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
unbeknownst to me, they have developed this technology and Apple is utilizing it in headphones and they call it spatialized audio or spatial audio. And so I go in, I'm listening to Dark Side of the Moon. I'm like, I hope this helps. I'm not really, I don't have
Did
high
you go
hopes
back
for
to the
this.
beginning of the album and
Yeah.
try it?
Yeah, I was A-Bing
You start-
stuff. I would turn it on and off and just A-Bing stuff like the whole time.
Yeah. I'm just trying to I'm trying to transport myself to where you are and imagining the first song that you tried the new mode on.
It was probably Money. I think I was listening to Money because that was a very like, there's a lot going on in that song. It's nice and loud and
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
tons of fun stuff to hear.
By the way, hello, Welsh ass Dave.
Welsh ass Dave.
Okay.
So
Listening
I
to
turn
Money.
on this spatial audio thing, and I was like, "This is so much better! Holy crap! This sounds incredible! Like it's amazing! Like it literally sounds like surround sound in your ears,
So you get the sense of front and behind,
Behind
in addition
you,
to left,
above
right.
you, left, right, and not only
What
that,
the?
but
Okay. Yeah.
like the detail in all of the instruments was like upped by like 100%. You could hear so much more depth. It was it was incredible. I was really impressed with it. So obviously it made listening to Dark Side even more enjoyable. And then I was just like, fuck, man, and then it dovetailed into, wow, Pink Floyd is so great. I haven't listened to them since 10 years ago, probably. I don't listen to them that often anymore, even though
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I've got like I've got
Right.
tons of their records, and I've always loved Pink Floyd. But
Yeah, like when I was 19 and listened to him every day. But
Totally.
It's like, it's been a long time.
but yeah,
Other than recently, we were talking about how like serendipitously,
Yeah, we both-
without even talking about it, we both took a dive back into Pink Floyd.
yeah, which is wild. So
Okay,
yeah,
keep going.
thanks to like the plane rides I was on being hours long and having lots of time to myself on vacation, I listened to Dark Side probably 3 or 4 times. I listened to metal. I listened to Obscured by Clouds. I listened to Animals multiple times. Wish You Were Here multiple times. And then, dude, once I got to The Wall, which I literally have not listened to The Wall since probably like before college for sure.
Whoa.
It's been so long since I've listened to The Wall, and because it's like it's a double album, it's a concept album, and it's like a stage play, really. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I mean, you're
Yes.
kind of missing a lot of information just by listening to it, but the album itself is so fucking good.
Oh my God. Yes.
So
So many good songs. But,
Yeah.
I mean, like once you get the story and
Totally.
you are familiar with it, you can listen to them
Yeah.
one-offs. Like you
Totally.
get it.
So yeah, I've been just like immersed in Pink Floyd the last couple of weeks, just like to the point where I'm like, we have to do Pink Floyd at some point in the future. I really want to, and
Okay. I'm just imagining this.
and there's this Pink Floyd subreddit, and they're doing a really fun thing where they have a straw poll every day, and you vote for your least favorite Pink Floyd album every day, and then at the end of the poll, that one gets taken off, and then the next day you vote for your next least favorite.
So it's like Survivor style.
Totally.
Pink Floyd albums.
Yes.
And let's see who remains.
Yes. And it's been like super fun, really fun to like listen along to albums while that's happening. They're only on like, I think it's like there's 9 albums left, so there's still a ton, but it's like all good shit
Yeah.
from here on out.
What do you think is what's your prediction for what the final Survivor is gonna be?
Well, I'm curious your thoughts on this. So the ones that are left, so like last
Yeah.
night they voted off Saucer Full of Secrets, the second album, which is
Yeah.
the last appearance of Syd Barrett.
Sid, yeah.
And it's the only album that has a song with all 5 members of Pink Floyd, which I think is really cool. It's got Sid and David Gilmour on the same song, which is super cool. That got voted out last night. I thought that was like super premature because that album's really cool. But the ones that are left that I think have to go next are Obscured by Clouds, which is the one they did between Metal and Dark Side, and they basically did it as like a really quick like score for a movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that even considered to be one of their LPs?
It is, yeah, it is. But
Okay.
it really, when you listen to Metal and then Dark Side, there's like a clear progression, and Obscured by Clouds sounds like it should have came before Metal, because that's where it sounds like it would fit better.
Yeah.
So that one's left, and Adam Hartmother's left. I personally, a lot of people on there, Adam Hartmother's the one with the cow and its ass on the front. Cool.
Is that from like the 90s or something?
No. That's like early 70s. That's like one of their albums they put out while they were together.
Yeah, I only really know them from this time to this time
Totally.
kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Similar to I'm the same way with with Rush.
Yeah.
Like from a certain album to another one, I know every fucking detail about everything in between, but
Yeah.
on the other sides of that, I like haven't even really listened to it at all.
Which is understandable, because Pink Floyd in their prime had one of the greatest runs ever. Like they had a 5-6 album stretch that was just like,
Right.
nobody can be like, it's up there with Beatles, Bowie, like Stones. Like it's that good. It's really just as good as any of that shit.
Yeah.
So-
Among the best music ever made.
Yes. Yeah.
In that run.
So you can imagine, and I'm sure you felt this way too, like having a sense that you're like rediscovering some of the best music ever made is so fun and so rewarding. Like it's so nice. Every couple years I do this with either Bowie or Bob Dylan or like fucking whoever, you know, and I'll just go through this intense period of just like hyper listening to their shit.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it with Floyd now, and it's really fucking fun.
That's awesome, man.
What?
So what's like what has surprised you? Like what are some of the favorites or opinions that you have about the music now after this recent listen through that you didn't have before?
Yeah.
Or something, you know?
My before I thought, and this isn't to knock Pink Floyd, but like They're-
dude, Nate's he's coming after Pink Floyd now. Hot take coming up.
let me just say that their good albums are as good as their bad albums are bad. Like when Pink Floyd is bad,
It's
they're
terrible.
really bad. Like it sucks. It's not fun to listen to. I don't care what any of the nerds say on the subreddit. Like a lot of people are defending the Cow album, Adam Hartmother. I don't like it. Thought it was bullshit. I think it should have gone off way before.
Wow.
Bacon 420 wins the hot Trek action. So Bacon 420. First of all, we want to
this
just.
shit. We want the track.
This is like we're living in like backwards land right now. Everyone's begging for Star Trek. We're just doing a little catch up, and then we're gonna start Trek very soon.
It's the holiday office party, man. We got to. So how was your Christmas, bro? Dude,
Yeah.
I listened to so much Pink Floyd. Really? Me
Yeah.
too.
So Bacon, I would say within
We're
the
being
next
coworkers, Bacon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say in the next 30 minutes, at most, we'll start the Star Trek episode. And also, well, we'll go into it when we talk about Star Trek. But yeah, so I've been listening to a ton of Pink Floyd. I really want to buy the Wall movie really bad. I watched it in high school. I haven't seen it since. On one of my stoned journeys in the middle of the night, I discovered the video for Roger Waters performing The Wall in 1990, right after the Berlin Wall fell in Berlin, with like this cavalcade of like amazing guests like Van Morrison and the band and Cyndi Lauper. She kills it. It's fucking
I
awesome.
forgot. What song did she do? I forgot she was part of that.
She does.
I always hone in on the Van Morrison band shit.
She does Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. So she does like,
Fuck.
and she's singing like there's still the kids choir, but like she kind of bolsters it because she has a higher voice.
Yeah. Her voice sounds like Cyndi Lauper's voice.
Yeah.
Fucking fire hose of a voice.
Yeah. But it's really good. It's just been really fun. Like sometimes you got to take, we make so much music that sometimes I don't I don't
Yeah.
take time to listen anymore. Sometimes I really don't. And Dweemus, so by the way, I would encourage all of you to go subscribe to the Pink Floyd subreddit because they do a poll every night and it's going on for at least another week. But Umaguma was voted out like I think almost right away. It was like one of the first 2 or 3 voted out. And Brandon, if you're not familiar with Umaguma, it's an album pretty shortly after Syd Barrett left, and all 4 members decided, let's make a double album, and each one of us will have their own side of the double LP. So there's one side where
It sounds really bad.
so bad. So there's one side where
Sounds like a terrible idea. I've never heard it.
yeah, it's just David Gilmour like dicking around. It's just Roger Waters dicking around, and then the last side is like just the drummer like banging pots and pans and like doing.
Like there aren't any other instruments besides drums on a side?
I think there is, but I don't really remember. It's been so long since I've messed with it, but it's
Are
just
they
like
songs that he wrote?
I guess, yeah. It's something like that, but they're not even really songs. They're like weird sound collages from all of them. Not a fan, but yeah,
A product of the times.
definitely, yeah. But yeah, Pink Floyd's the shit. I would love to do like Comfortably Numb with you, or Another Brick in the Wall. Like, do a little Wall suite.
Yeah, there you go. I was thinking the same thing, man, because I mean, the most famous and important work of reggae cover music is Dub Side of the Moon.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's in the in the niche world of reggae cover music. That's like trying to,
That's our Sgt. Pepper's.
Right, exactly. That's like trying to do.
Not to be confused with the same band that covered Sgt. Pepper's.
That actually did Sgt. Pepper's.
That's actually
funny enough. That one is not
our
Sgt. Pepper's.
Dark Side is our Sgt. Pepper's. Dub Side, sorry.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I agree with you. They should be songs that are all probably from The Wall.
Yeah.
I think.
Other stuff I've been listening to since we last spoke. Are you familiar with Giorgio Moroder at all? He's
I've heard the name.
Yeah, he's like a very proto electronic musician in the 70s who like came about right when the first drum machines were coming up. But like during like disco. So he was like Diana Ross's producer. He produced an amazing album for Sparks. He worked with Daft Punk years later. Like he's the shit. He's like the original like fucking club dance music guy, and it was just like super entwined with disco.
Okay.
And I heard one of his albums, or I re-listened to one of his albums, and I thought we could cover this whole album as Black Market, and it would be dope. Nights in White Satin is the album that I would recommend listening to. It's not his most famous one, but it's really good.
That sounds dope.
So how about you? What have you been listening to anything interesting aside from Pink Floyd?
Oh, let's see. Let me think about it. Let's see. I did an interesting thing. There was, speaking of Reddit, there was a really cool thing on Ask Reddit recently, which was asking for what was the best album to come out in 2021.
Ooh.
And I got really interested in that because normally my source for new music, literally new music, not just new to me, but new to the world, is our mutual friend from Atascadero, Colin. He's much more of a, he's got his thumb on the taint of what's happening in music way more than me.
Yeah.
And so I'm normally just kind of like just waiting for him to bestow new music wisdom on me. But I got into this this Reddit question, and there was this album that kept on coming up. So like you know how it is, like all the top comments were people saying like 4 or 5 to 10 different responses, different albums that came out in 2021. But there was one that was on like all of them.
Yeah.
Album called Glow On by a band called Turnstile.
Okay. Not familiar.
Neither was I.
Yeah.
Never heard any of their music before. Listened through it. It's fucking awesome.
Wow. What's it like? What's the what kind of music is it?
So the band is known, has established themselves as being actually a hardcore punk band.
That's cool.
Yeah. But they have branched out a bit more musically. I don't know if they've done it a lot before this album, but at least for this album, there's way more going on than punk.
Wow.
Sort of. Here we go. Awesome. Good. I'm glad that you asked.
Oh,
so you
yeah.
get some more recommendations. That's good.
Oh yeah, totally.
There's a lot more going on, but the thing that I've noticed from music that is coming out this year, what amount of it that I have heard, going off of Glow On, is that it seems like we're in a time of kind of like a musical blank slate.
Yeah.
Where it's not really the same sort of situation that I can remember happening in previous decades, which is that if you're not making music that has these certain musical elements in it,
Or is in a certain scene.
then no one is interested. Like
Right.
you have made yourself irrelevant.
Yes.
You know?
It's the opposite of that now.
Exactly.
The internet has
seems
made
like
a completely blank slate. Like you said, it's completely even the playing field for all genres are like in play now. Which is probably why we've found quite a bit of success too. It's,
right, yeah. Yeah, how else would we?
Yeah.
What we're doing,
It's so fucking niche. Like, yeah.
So it's very cool.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring because a lot of the ideas that I've been kicking around for my next upcoming bout of original music, a lot of the ideas that I have for that are very kind of genre fluid things.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be presented as something that is, when people ask, what is this? I'm going to say reggae.
Yeah.
But so basically Turnstile, this album Glow On, this is kind of like what I'm imagining. But if you ask what kind of a band is Turnstile, it's a hardcore punk band. But then you listen to that, it's like I wouldn't have guessed that they're a hardcore punk band by listening to this album.
Right. So
and it seems like that's kind of the way.
Yeah. It is.
It's very cool. It seems like the way that the environment is now is that we're in a place where musicians can really honestly just put what they are feeling on the tape.
Yeah, there's no clicks.
And
there's no clicks anymore.
Open-mindedly listen to it.
Yeah, there's no clicks.
We've got a lot of very open-minded listening happening in the world right now, it seems like.
Yeah, it's and the internet makes every piece of music ever created available to everyone all at once. Like, so naturally, yeah, the sounds that people are going to make are going to be way different, way more like genre fluid is a good term you used. It's really cool. Like, I'm really grateful we're in a time like this. However, like, maybe it's just me. I spend so much time looking back on past like glory days of the music industry and music scenes and stuff. Yep. I can't help but think it would have been the most fucking fun thing ever to be around during the Summer of Love or like 1989 in Seattle or fucking like Detroit in the early 70s. Like,
I've had those thoughts too.
Like the geographically based scene where a certain place is responsible for a sound is I think it's gone. I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Well, here's my thought. Okay, I've gone down this similar thought pattern that you're describing many times myself.
Yeah.
And a thought that comes after that, sometimes that gives me a lot of hope, is that this type of a situation where that sort of geographically significant scene and like happening that is gone and it's not present.
Yeah.
those are exactly the circumstances where one of those scenes comes out of.
That's true. Because you could almost say the same thing happened in like the 80s, like with like pop music and like hair metal. It was just like so.
The Sunset Strip thing.
Yeah, it was so ubiquitous that it couldn't help but like.
But what I'm saying is what things were like on the Sunset Strip right before that happened was like a creative desert.
Yes. Yeah.
Or at least just like a state of what's going on here. It's hard to pin down what it is, and that is where a thing, a scene, a happening kind of comes out of. So
I hope you're right.
I
really
think
do.
I'm actually more glad that I'm in a period of time where there isn't one of those, because that gives me the opportunity to participate in one happening.
Right.
Whereas if we were around right now doing what we're doing when one of those scenes is happening, like, dude, we are the children or grandchildren. No, not grandchildren. We're the children of that LA ska scene from the 90s, man.
Mm-hmm.
All of our, mentors and big brothers and musical fathers who taught us all this shit were part of this big ska boom in LA in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And we were not part of that, right? But that's who we admired, and that's who we wanted to be like.
Yes.
And we moved to LA with the
Yes.
promise in our hearts of participating in that boom.
Right.
But
By the time we got there,
as we've learned with the last 15 years of our lives, it ain't there.
yeah, by the time we got there and we were ready to participate, the scene had either moved on or dissipated, or everyone just went on to different things, and it just wasn't what it was when we were younger,
So on my first reaction to that has been bummed out.
Yeah.
It's a very sad thing.
Yeah.
But the way that I'm choosing to look at it these days is that that's actually better than what I was hoping for, which was to jump in on a thing that already existed. The way that I'm choosing to look at it now is I don't know if I will. I might not end up doing it, but I at least have the chance to be one of the people who's participating in the upswing of a new one.
Totally.
That doesn't exist yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think if you look at Black Market and all of our collaborators, like it's one of those things where I think we have inadvertently created maybe not a scene, but like a micro version of that. Because like at this point, Black Market, we've developed so many awesome collaborators that are all like game to do this kind of thing that we're doing. Like Alma Rocks, Myred, Chudan, Dub Robot, like
Bacon 420.
Like it's like there is this small group of people with like-minded like musical ideals and goals, and it's like we kind of are in something like that. It's just hard to recognize that like when you're in it. I think someday maybe when we're older we might look back at times like now and just be like, fuck. Like that
Somebody
was really...
might ask us when we're old men, like, what was it like being there at the time, and like this great moment of music, and we're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Totally, yeah, easily, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I hope you're right. I like your optimistic.
I hope I'm right too.
Yeah, I like your optimistic view of where we could be going, and because I've looked at the blank slate aspect of it and just thought like this is the end of something. I don't know what comes next, but it's definitely an ending, So I like how you're thinking about it, that we could emerge into something new, and that's exciting. I hope we are part of something like that. I want to respond to something Bacon 420 said earlier. Just Googled top 50 albums of 2021. Never heard any of these. Damn. Okay. So I also did this year.
Okay.
I counted on my hands how many I'd listened to or even just heard of. At a certain point, I hadn't listened to so many of them that I was like, all right, I'm just going to count the ones I've heard of.
That you have heard of. Yeah.
That I've just heard of, not even listened to.
Yes.
And I think I got to like 5 or 6 out of 50. And I do this thing every couple years, or every year, like when the end of the year top 50 lists start coming out, I Google the top 50 list from 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and I go down and I go, okay, I know I hadn't heard of most of the albums then either.
Yeah.
So do any of those albums, do I know of them now? Have any of them had any kind of staying power? Or have they developed some kind of cult of personality after the fact? No. Usually not.
None of them.
None of them, but like usually it's like there's so many of these top 50 lists every year that I've found that there's a majority of the albums that get kind of nominated for this stuff. It's like they're really big the year they come out, but they don't really like stick around like the really big ones do, but a lot of the other ones kind of don't. I don't know. I've always kind of thought that was funny.
I'm curious, since we were talking about Pink Floyd before, I'm curious if the popularity, significance, people talking about it, people listening to it, people referencing it in popular culture and everything of these great Pink Floyd albums was constant the entire time, or if they were like, if they got popular again 20 years later.
Right. Well,
you know what I mean?
In the case of Floyd, I mean, I think they were huge right from the get-go, all those albums. Like, I think Dark Side, I remember hearing about this a lot when I was younger, and I don't hear it brought up as often anymore, but like Dark Side was on the top 200 Billboard charts for like 20 years straight. Like, it was the longest run of any album to be like continuously on the charts.
That answers that question.
Yeah.
Andrew.
Oh.
Did Cliff Richard get you censored last episode?
We should probably address that because we haven't even brought that up.
Yes.
He fucking did.
And it was worth it.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Tell the tale, because you're the one who had to actually do the work on this.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do anything.
So we pretty much did 2 weeks ago. We did an episode where we just listened to a bunch of Christmas songs, and a lot of our UK fans, you guys in the chat now, were suggesting, "Oh my God, you have to hear this fucking guy Cliff Richards." So we were like, "All right, we've never heard of this guy.
We've never heard of him before."
And we had this whole talk before the show, like, "Hey, we're gonna listen to music today. We might get copyright flagged or whatever, but who cares? We're not making money off these streams anyway. So even if it gets copyright flagged, as long as people can still watch the episode, like, who cares?"
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And my channel never gets in trouble when that happens. It's not a big deal. But you know, so we record the episode. I basically leave for vacation like the next day, and then as I'm going through the airport and all this shit, I'm seeing like, oh, the episode's just like gone. Like, you can't watch it anywhere. Like, I can see it on the back end, but like nobody can watch it. And I started looking through. When I got to Arizona, I got on my laptop because it's easier to kind of find out how to deal with this stuff. And I went through and realized that it was blocked worldwide because of a 1.5 minute segment of music from Cliff Richard, that Cliff Richard song.
The Living Dog.
Yeah.
I better not sing it. You might get flagged.
No, I don't think they'll hear that.
Now, we're about to get flagged for what we're going to do next.
We're totally going to get flagged.
Watch TV on the stream.
Yeah, we're totally going to get flagged. We're going to try really hard to not, but I think we will.
Yeah, everybody who's here, enjoy it, because it might not.
It won't be up very long.
This might not exist on any channel after this. This might be live only.
Yeah. So yeah, we did get flagged, but luckily YouTube actually has a really simple way to just edit that shit out on the back end. So I didn't have to like download the episode and re-upload it or edit it in my computer or anything. Basically, like, YouTube just says, "Hey, here's the little clip that is like ruining everyone's fun and no one can watch this because of this. Do you want to just take that out?" And I'm like, "Yes." Gone. Don't have to worry about it. Episode's up now. You guys can all watch it. It's a fun episode. We count down all the Christmas songs you want to dub out for the next Christmas EP.
So what happens? It just goes where we're like, yeah, okay, let's listen to Cliff Richard, and then it just goes to, wow, that was amazing.
That's literally what happens.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's kind of a bummer in that sense, but like, you know, maybe I'll put a disclaimer like, hey, at this timestamp, like, fucking, ignore how weird this segue is, but yeah, we did get the video got taken down for that, but like whatever, we adjusted it and the video's back. There's still
it was worth it.
3
now
hours.
we are familiar with the magic of Cliff Richard now.
Yes, it was
totally worth it.
Totally worth it. Yeah. Speaking of questions from Andrew, I think
we're gonna do mailbag.
Mailbag.
Listener mail.
The patented segment. So, and just to preface this mailbag segment, if any of you out there watching want to submit a question for our mailbag segment, which we are trying to do every week, but it kind of is up to you guys if we do it every week because you have to send in questions. If you want to submit a question or a topic of discussion or just something you've been dying to ask us or advice or anything you want, you can literally ask us anything. Send it to Criticism, sure, yeah. I would love to read that. That'd be fun to talk about that on the show. Send it to blackmarketreggae@gmail.com. Get your question featured on the show. Just in the title or in the header of the email, maybe put mailbag or something like that.
It's called the subject, Nate.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, sorry.
That's what the entire email,
the title, whatever,
knows that it's called.
So first, this isn't his question, but he did ask this, and I haven't read this yet, so we can we'll address this right now for Andrew. He says, "Do you lads?" Love that he calls us lads.
Yeah.
Do you lads have a PayPal account? I can directly send you a Christmas bonus without any fees being taken out, or can I directly donate a one-off amount on Patreon without signing up? I would say, Andrew, the easiest way to do that would probably be Patreon or Venmo or something like that. And we can, if you still are feeling a generous Christmas giver, we can drop those in the chat if you'd like, but no pressure.
Yeah, no, we should definitely drop all the ways that people can give us money in the chat right now.
As far as Patreon goes, the only way you could do something like that would be like if you signed up for a month and then like stopped after that or something. But I would say
cancel.
Yeah, or you know what, it would be an easy way to do it. Go to our Bandcamp pages, buy one of our albums, and just put in like donate however much amount you want, and whatever, you could do it that way.
But it sounds like he's looking for a way where no amount would be taken out. And if you buy something on Bandcamp,
there is a fee.
The only way that 100% of the money would get to us or any other artist on Bandcamp is if you do it during one of their Bandcamp Fridays.
Right.
Which is a thing they've started doing once a month since the pandemic started. Once a month, Bandcamp will have Bandcamp Friday, and it's a thing that they like heavily promote. It's easy to figure out when it is. And on that day, all the money that you spend on people's music, they get 100% of it.
Yeah.
So other than that day, if you buy something from some Bandcamp, it's what is it, 10%?
Something
less than
like
10%?
that. Yeah, it's a revenue share thing.
It might be less than 10%. It's still a really good rate. This is not a condemnation of Bandcamp at all.
Totally.
The amount that they take, I think, is pretty fair.
Super fair, yeah.
Yeah.
So I dropped my Venmo in the chat, and Andrew, if you decide to send us anything at all, and again, no pressure, it's fine. If you decide to, me and Brian will split it. It's fine.
Yeah, just Venmo Nate, and I'll just cross my fingers that he's honest with me about how much you send. And
yeah. Okay.
Wait, what did Dave just say?
Oh, that's funny as fuck about Cliff Richard, because in the UK he's a goody two shoes, and to get in the shit with him, something to do with him is fucking hilarious. I agree. Yeah, he's kind of like who would you compare him to in the United States? Who's the U.S. equivalent? We said Everly Brothers, but I feel like he's even like kind of dorkier than that.
Musically, it sounds exactly like Everly Brothers,
Yeah.
but those guys are. I'm pretty sure they're like were like hard drinking, hard drugging dudes in their personal life, I think.
Yeah.
But let's see. Yeah, no, he definitely did. He kind of had like a Conway Twitty vibe,
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. That's a good one.
If you guys don't know Conway Twitty, well, everybody knows Conway Twitty now because of Family Guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you don't know Conway Twitty, it's spelled like how you think it would be spelled. Conway Twitty. His name is Twitty. And he makes Nate's hair look very small.
Okay, so let's read Andrew's actual question now. So, question from Andrew.
Oh, that wasn't the question.
That wasn't the question. No, that was just something else he mentioned in the email.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good.
So, Andrew Wright, one of our dedicated, awesome weekly listeners who tunes in the show every week. We always love to see Andy.
And who brews a mean cup of coffee.
Yep. He asks, do you have a preference or a deeper lean towards Jamaican or UK dub from the 60s and 70s? Interestingly enough, me and Brandon were talking yesterday. We kind of had a very similar sort of conversation about this exact kind of thing.
I'll take your word for it. I don't remember talking about it, but you'll probably jog my memory right now.
Well, yesterday we were talking about we had like a little mini sort of tech day yesterday, and yesterday we were talking about how like diverse our fan base is, but it's diverse in ways that are very unexpected. Like it's from groups of people that we wouldn't have. Like if we had a crystal ball and the crystal ball said, okay, in 5 years you guys are going to have a bunch of fans, I wouldn't have guessed the kind of fans that we have, or like the kind of music that they like, and then discovered us through that music. Like I wouldn't have been able to guess. For me personally, I lean towards Jamaican music always. If I had to pick one, but I love all the shit that came out of the UK. It's all amazing. But we were talking yesterday about how like we don't have any Jamaican fans or like fans from the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Or
If there's any Jamaican people in the chat right now, reveal yourselves, because
please reveal yourselves.
You're lurking and we're not aware.
Yeah,
of
we
anybody
are. Yeah,
who's a fan who's Jamaican.
Yeah, like it would be such validation if people from Jamaica actually liked our stuff, but like they probably are just unaware of it. But yeah, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I definitely prefer the Jamaican stuff. That's the stuff I grew up with. Later, I got way more into like second wave and like specials and madness and all that kind of thing. And I love that stuff too. But it was kind of more of a byproduct of my love for Jamaican reggae, as opposed to like that was the shit that got me started. But we've found that like I would say most of our fans, or at least our most vocal fans, are all from the UK and are all have like kind of discovered us through that music, and it's just very interesting because we never would have guessed that that's how it would go down. I in my mind I was like, oh, everyone that likes like third wave and Sublime and like Cali reggae stuff, like those are the people that are probably going to latch on to this. But that hasn't really happened either. That is not really our fan base either.
Like not at all.
Not at all.
It seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's interesting though because because we're from California.
Mm-hmm. But we're very not Cali reggae at all.
Exactly. The style that we play reggae in is not really connected to the popular style of playing reggae in California at the moment.
Yeah.
There's definitely a style.
Yes.
And it's very popular and it makes a lot of money and there's lots of fans of it.
Yeah.
The festivals are huge.
Huge. It's probably the biggest thing happening in reggae right now. It's the biggest scene right now, currently.
Yeah, probably is.
Yeah.
And so we are from the place where this is happening and where all the bands who play that music are from.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're sort of expecting, okay, well, maybe some amount of those people, since they like reggae,
Yeah.
are going to be the people who respond to what we're doing because we're here. We're in California. Well, you used to be here. You're in Tennessee now, but because we're people from California playing reggae. Wouldn't it be fans from California who like reggae who are our fans? But that isn't how it turned out.
That's not how it turned out at all. Yeah. So yeah, I think me and Brandon both, everything we do, we try and root it in Jamaican styles, Jamaican reggae, as we try to pull from that stuff the most. But we were talking about it yesterday, and it's like I kind of get how like a lot of second wave UK fans probably discovered our music because we're doing so many like UK artists and like new wave bands and like artists and bands that like literally shared stages with those second wave ska bands like Specials and all those bands from back then. So it doesn't surprise me that those fans like like they were like there was already kind of like a pairing of new wave and reggae back then, and the people
Yeah.
that connected with that the most were from the UK.
Yes, Jamaican styles of music are definitely more part of your guys' culture in the UK than it is here in the US.
Oh,
It's oh, go ahead.
I have to make note. Steve Phelps is in the chat. Steve, aka Cat Flea Massacre, one of our biggest, most ardent supporters ever.
Big Steve.
Steve plays Black Market and Wise Owl stuff on his radio show every single week, as far as I can tell, dating back years at this point. So I credit him very greatly as being a reason why we are popular over there to a certain extent.
Big Steve.
Yeah. So Steve, thank you so
Every
much.
release.
Yeah, every release, this guy's playing our stuff every single time. Bless you, Steve. It's great to see
Bless
you in the
you.
chat, man.
But yeah, like you're saying, yeah, the UK admires the Jamaican sound. It came from the original immigration from the Caribbean. Yeah, right. So I'm glad, Andrew, that you asked about the Jamaican or UK sound, and which do we pull from more? Because I mean, obviously they're related. The first, the original. Well, I don't know. This might not even be accurate what I'm saying, come to think of it. But when I think of, so and you specified 60s and 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So when I think of reggae artists from the UK from that time period, I'm thinking of people like Steel Pulse and Oswald and Misty and Roots and stuff like that,
Totally.
who are
Jamaican, but they came to the UK.
Yeah, they're first generation. Right, they were either born in Jamaica or both their parents were born in Jamaica. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think of. And their music is markedly different.
Yes.
Like you can tell without even looking at who it is, just what they're playing. This is something else.
Yes.
Besides what was being played in Jamaica at the same time.
Right.
For me personally, they're both big influences. But like Nate, I feel like I'm both consciously and unconsciously being influenced and drawing influence from the Jamaican, from the musicians who were playing in Jamaica more than the guys who were in the UK.
Yeah.
And just to finish on my point, the United States has the music of the United States was influenced greatly by immigrants from Jamaica also.
Yes.
Primarily in like New York City.
Max Romeo was a cab driver in New York.
I did not know that.
Dude, came to New York from Jamaica, was a fucking cab driver for a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
A lot of them actually moved to and still live in Orange County in California.
Yep.
And they're still there playing. They play their weekly gigs and everything.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Dub
amazing.
Club in LA. It's just like a who's who of like reggae stars there weekly. Like
I don't know that the dudes in California have done so much of like a direct, just like reinvent the thing, like contributed to the music that other people besides them were making as much as the the dudes did in New York and in the UK and everything.
The way
Because like hip hop and the way that that they brought toasting in and the way that evolved in a uniquely American way, you know, like but what the point that I'm trying to make is that their own music, it was like it had a bigger effect and was listened to by you guys in the UK way more than it was by us.
Yep.
In the US, for the most part, the influence that their own music from Jamaica had was like the way that it contributed to our pool of music that was happening. And it seems like in the UK, you guys did a whole lot more listening of their music.
Yep.
And loving it for what it is. And both obviously happened. It obviously influenced non-Jamaican artists and things too. But like when people like us, no matter where in the world we're from, we make music that is like Jamaican inspired.
Yeah.
The UK is one of the places in the world where it gets the best response.
Totally.
You
It
know,
really is.
Because even Jamaica has moved on from this time.
Yeah.
Like the Jamaican styles from the 60s and 70s really are not that popular
They're
in
not
Jamaica
popular
anymore.
Yeah. It's all dance
So
hall.
like the UK kind of is probably the cultural location where it is the most popular on the planet probably right now, like from Jamaican music of that era.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my thing.
Yeah, and just a small addendum to the kind of it is really interesting to see how Jamaicans immigrated to UK, which created a whole UK scene. Likewise, you had Jamaicans that influenced the Cali reggae scene, but the difference is I kind of look at it like Bob Marley is seen as like he's like the guy in reggae, right?
Yeah, he's the greatest ever. He's the one.
He's the best to ever do it. he's the
chosen
guy.
one. He's the greatest.
He's the chosen one. He, how do I describe this? He's kind of like, to use a really poor analogy, and forgive me if I offend anybody with this analogy. Bob Marley is to Jamaican reggae what like Yahweh is to like Judaism. And then you've got, see, go with me here.
yeah, all right.
And then you've got Cali reggae, which is like, it's borderline like
Judas.
No, without disparaging Cali reggae too much, it's borderline like the Book of Mormon to me. Like it's this weird,
dude.
It's this weird offshoot where
I love this.
There's a new prophet. It's not like they love Bob Marley.
Yeah.
He's
Did you know
he's
that
great.
Jesus used to live in Missouri? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
They love Bob Marley. They accept him as he is as great as everyone else thinks, right? But they have another guy. They've got Brad Noel, right? Who is the next guy. He's the Cali reggae is like the Christianity offshoot.
Dude, Brad
of
was a fucking genius.
He is a fucking genius. He really is. And I love Sublime. But he has kind of, in a way, supplanted the place that Bob Marley has in a lot of other fans' minds, right? In Cali reggae. People are probably bigger fans of... People are as big a fans as Sublime as Bob Marley in the Cali reggae scene, I would say.
Well, okay, take yourself back in time. We both grew up in California. Like when you were like early high school, junior high, something like that. So basically, right before you started to delve into a more complex education of Jamaican music.
Yeah.
Okay? Where did Sublime and Bob Marley rate in your consciousness?
Oh, they were neck and neck for sure. It was like
Neck and neck? Okay.
Yeah, it was like obviously I loved Bob Marley, but I discovered Sublime at the same time. Like when I was like, I want to get into reggae. What do I do? Where do I go?
Yeah.
the obvious ones were Sublime and Bob Marley.
Yeah,
And
same for me.
That's where it all started.
They
And
were the only two that I knew, and I was familiar with Sublime's songs probably a little bit more than
me
Bob
too.
Marley.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, dude. When you grow up in California, Sublime is like
They're Nirvana.
It's religion.
They are
Everybody knows every Sublime song.
Yes, and I don't care if you are a Cali reggae fan or not. If you're a Californian, that shit was just on all the time. When you grew
this
up.
is not unique to any sort of reggae scene at all. It's just life.
They're like the state.
Has Sublime in it.
They're the state band. You know.
They are our Cliff Richard.
Yeah.
Except they did meth and
yeah.
shit. And heroin.
So yeah, whether or not Brad Noel being the second coming of reggae is a good or bad thing for the state of reggae today is another discussion and debate that I would say, as brilliant and genius as Brad Noel is, it's a bummer the music that he's influenced is that is coming out now. Like the people that are super influenced by him aren't making stuff as good as Sublime. It's not.
In our opinion.
In our opinion.
Yeah.
I'm just not a Cali reggae fan. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
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 But anyway, let's catch up on a couple of the chat questions, and then we should move on to watching Star Trek.
Yes.
So Bacon
Yeah,
for
this is good. We're getting a nice education firsthand from people who grew up in the UK, which is really nice. You know,
totally.
Like a lot of everything that I know about what Jamaican music is like in the UK is just like pieced together from little experiences. You know, so this is always good to get feedback from you guys.
Totally. And another reason why a simple question from Andrew Wright spurred this whole discussion. Really fascinating, interesting discussion. So if you guys want to
mailbag,
send us some mailbag, man. We want the questions coming in. And this was only one question this week. Hopefully if we have more, we'll do it a little quicker. But blackmarketreggae@gmail.com in the subject line. You're welcome, Brandon. Put in mailbag or questions or something like that. So I just want to backtrack a little bit and answer some of the things that the chat's been saying. Bacon420 says, how many questions were submitted to the mailbag in 2021? Well, we've only been doing this for, I don't know, a month or two at tops, so not very many yet, but we're trying to build it up and make it a regular segment.
I think there was one week where I think it might have been Andrew wrote
it was a lot,
three or four questions, maybe
it was
more.
like 10 questions. It was awesome.
Okay. And then this one to answer your question, 11, and they were all from Andrew.
Yeah, I think we had some from some other people too, but I think Roofs Changer sent us one once.
Okay.
And then Dave Hassel, it was so much easier to access the Jamaican music in the UK in the 70s because we had national radio and TV DJs and presenters who championed the genre and gave us the chance to hear it.
Badass,
there you go.
Man. Yeah, that's good. And that's a really good point because it's not just necessarily just a thing that the whole culture decided to do together.
Dave Hassel sent mail last week. That's who we did mail from last week.
Oh, did we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last week. Or
what was the question?
I don't remember what it was, but I remember it was him that sent in the last.
Sorry, Dave. I forgot. Welsh ass Dave. But yes, okay, yeah, that book Base Culture, that's on my list. So I'm really terrible about reading books, and if it doesn't exist on audiobook, I probably will never read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do it. We'll do a book club or something at some point. Maybe we could all read a book together. That'd be kind of fun. Like the new
Base Culture.
Base Culture, or the new King Tubby book that came out last year. I still haven't got around to reading. It's really fucking cool though. Or
I didn't even know about that one.
Al Schmidt's book, the guy who ran Capital. I got a signed copy of his book. He signed it for me, which is amazing. I still haven't really gotten around to read it. I've thumbed through it a bunch, but
dedicated to you on the first page.
Pretty much.
Dedicated only to Nate.
Right after Paul McCartney gives his forward, Al Schmidt goes, "Hey, Al Schmidt here. I just want to mention the runner Nate Bridges, who always got me my Reuben sandwich from Greenblatt's with extra Russian dressing.
Wow.
Just got to throw that out there. I really appreciated that from Al. That was really nice of him.
So Al's Jewish, right?
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
I can-
I don't know.
Wow.
I want to end the show on a segment we forgot to do, and that is a segment we will continue to do. Yeah, you know what it is.
I know what you're talking about. Oh
You
my
know what it
God,
is.
we forgot it.
We forgot.
Paulie is like,
Wow, he's got some gabagool on that one. So this is fucking hilarious. I did not look at this before the show. This is funny.
So wait, for first time viewers, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, so we're doing Eno cards right now. So we have a stack of cards written by Brian Eno, who had trouble in the 70s with creative block in the recording studio. So him and a friend came up with these clever esoteric cards, basically to help you spur creativity and fight through creative block in a studio setting. So we love using these, and I use them all the time, even outside the show when I'm working on stuff.
These are called, just
Oblique strategies.
Keeping up on the whole theme of not stealing other people's shit.
Yes.
Because this is a product that is for sale.
You can buy it.
That's made by people who are the rightful holders of this intellectual property, who make money off of it.
Yeah.
It's called Oblique Strategies, and
Yep.
you can buy this shit, and it's fucking awesome. Nate bought it,
Yep.
and we use it.
We use it
So
all the
go
time.
fuck yourselves.
And I think there's even updated decks of cards that they've added to over the years, and I kind of want to get those too.
I think you're an updated deck of cards.
Wow.
That's what I think. And I'm going to pour more whiskey now. You are an updated deck of cards.
Wow. Thank you, Brandon. Okay, so today's today's Eno card. Try faking it. And then in the corner it says given by Stuart Brand. I don't know who that is. Try faking it.
Try faking it.
Yeah. So fake that we're a real YouTube show and we can just watch Star Trek.
All right. I'll take that one on. I mean, it's like sometimes I feel like that's my only recourse with
Yeah.
pretend like I'm a streamer.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll pretend.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good one. Try faking it. I think everybody needs to fake it every once in a while. We've all had to fake it being musicians. I mean, it's just how it goes. Fake it till you make it.
I mean, faking is that's a term. That's a technique. It's a skill inside of musicianship and playing music. If you're faking something, which means if you're playing a gig and somebody calls like, "Oh man, we're gonna do a fucking what." It's just like we're gonna do like a New Orleans thing.
Yeah.
And the drummer starts playing some like legit New Orleans fucking beat, and the piano player joins in, and you're standing there holding a guitar, and you're like, I don't know how to play this.
Right. Play something.
You fake it.
Yeah.
Right. And so you possess the ability to approximate what the stylistic qualities of a certain thing. You fake it.
Yeah.
And it's literally faking it. So
Yeah.
that's an interesting one. And I can think of some times
Also, I love that
being
it
in the
has
studio when that would be useful.
I love that it has an exclamation point on it as well. Because that just kind of adds to the general tone. It's almost like it's something you say right after you say "fuck it." Try faking it.
Because
That would
you're
work.
supposed to pull these cards when you're in a block.
Yes. So if you're at a
So-
point in your creativity where you say "fuck it," and you pull a card that says "try faking it," I imagine that would help a lot.
Okay, I can actually bring this to. So I'm still in the final stages of making the Alicia Keys song, and this is a good oblique strategy for me in my blockage in the studio, because what to do with these synth sounds? I'm trying to recreate the sense of the original song and do it justice and do it right, do it properly, do it the real way. And I'm not succeeding. You know? It's just not working. And I'm like to the point of like, okay, should I just abandon the whole idea of the synths being in there at all, which I may do. But this is a good card because what I hadn't considered is try faking it.
Yep.
I've only been thinking about it in terms of either it's the right way or don't do it or or figure it out. Figure out how to do it the right way. I hadn't even considered try faking it.
Yeah, it's a really good one. It's very simple, but it's one of those things that you're just like, why didn't I think of that? That's so such easy but useful advice for any musician. And I imagine lots of stuff. Like if you have stage fright or if you're afraid of speaking in public, try pretending that you love it. Try acting like it's great.
Yeah, play a character of a person who can do it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And that will work, you know. Like I've done this in real life where like I'll go to a party or something where I don't really know a lot of people, or maybe there's someone there I want to impress or talk to or whatever. And in my inside, I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot, and like no one likes me, and this sucks, and like I don't know why I'm here. Like everyone probably thinks I'm this weird guy. And then I'm just like, you know what? Turn that charm knob up, motherfucker. Like just be the guy you're sitting there wishing you were. Just become that, you know. Just do it, you know, and
pretend.
Like. Yeah. We used to do it every day when we were kids. All of us. We would pretend we were something maybe we weren't, or something we wanted to be. And back then it was enriching and good for us. Natural, yeah.
And it wasn't to solve a problem. We just did that.
We just did it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we're definitely drunk now. This is good.
Well, I have prior business to attend to right after this show, so I think we're gonna wrap it up. I'm praying that we don't get a strike on my YouTube channel, which would not be the end of the channel. But if we get 3 strikes, then the channel's gone forever. So, you know, hopefully we didn't just get a stupid strike on the channel. I don't think we did, but we'll see. And even if we did, I think we can, like, as long as we don't get any more strikes within a certain period of time, I think that strike goes away automatically. So it's not the end of the world. We're going to try, for anybody that's watching on Twitch who usually watches on YouTube, undoubtedly the show is gone on YouTube right now. So I'm going to try in the back end today or tomorrow to once again get our
Nate
show.
Always tries in the back end. Doesn't always work, but
there's some real gabagool on that joke, Brandon. You fuck. Yeah, so yeah, if it's gone on YouTube,
it's not even 12:30 p.m.
Well, Brandon's gonna have an extremely productive day, undoubtedly.
God.
Yeah.
The things I do
for this show that no one can watch right now.
Yeah, next time I make such a sacrifice for the show, let's do it for one that people can watch.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. So yeah, well, I'm gonna work on
on
getting the edited version of the show back up, which is too bad because we had a whole cool discussion about Roddenberry and Star Trek, and that was all really fun. But
and Jamaican and UK and US, that was a really good discussion.
Super good discussion, good show
about reggae shit.
Yeah. But if you're still watching with us, I would expect next week. We'll try and get back to the regular music content. We'll probably show off some new music we've been working on.
And start playing music.
Yeah, we'll start playing music again. It's been hard to do that lately just because of holidays and stuff. And you know, we've had a lot going on, been really busy. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be January in a couple days. It's time to start on ABBA. Like, no time better than the present. Like, let's fucking do it.
Hell yeah.
So,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get started real soon. Yeah, dog. Oops.
Well, happy New Year to all of
Yeah.
you, and to you, Nate. Happy New Year. I love you, buddy.
I love you too, man. Happy New Year to you, buddy.
I don't think I'm going to talk to you again until after the
2022?
next year, right? Yeah.
Probably not. Yeah.
All right. You're the best. It is my honor and my pleasure and my privilege to get to make music with you, do the show with you, be in business with you.
Hell yeah, dude.
Be friends with you. It's the best, man. This is what we have and what we're doing together, and the future of it too. Like, looking forward to like everything that we want to achieve together is like one of the, if not the, highlights of my life. And I love you.
Ditto.
Thanks. That's deep. I'm moved by your word.
I agree, man. Totally agree.
Yep.
Yep. No, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yep.
Oh my god. No, I couldn't agree with you more, man. You put it better than I ever could. Yeah, this is highlight of my week, dude. I'm hoping, like we talked about in the past, like, shit, man, maybe we start doing this more than once a week. I don't know. Maybe we do shows. Maybe we do a show that's music focused and do a show that's like just discussion focused. That'd be easy. We could do something like that.
That's a really good idea. We can do one that is
just
all
bullshit.
about our music and what we're doing, and then another one about
Star Trek.
stupid shit. And then we can watch how the one that's about stupid shit gets like 10,000 times more viewership than the one that's about our music.
Yeah,
That'll be fun.
that'd be a really fun parallel to watch.
Hey, dude, at this point, man, whatever brings the dollars in, I don't give a shit. I'll do whatever at this point, man.
I'm with you.
Honestly.
I'm with you, buddy. 2022, it's a new start, fresh start, new year. We're going to kick it off on the right foot, I have no doubt.
Yeah.
Anyway, Brandon, as always, been a pleasure. I will see you next week, my friend.
All right, my buddy boy.
Thanks, y'all, for watching.
Thank
It's
you,
been really
everyone.
cool. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, hey, for anyone still watching, if you noticed, I've updated our little scroll here so that it's segmented out into Patreon subscribers, Bandcamp subscribers, and then just also a little special thanks section here where we can thank all the people that influence us and our loved ones and all that. So if you want to get, I already ended the show. I don't know what I'm still doing here. If you want to, we forgot to say this also. If you want to be on this little list, become a Patreon subscriber or a Bandcamp subscriber. Please. Please. Fuck. Please. Please. Okay.
I like how you put John Joe.
Oh, shit. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you.